The article is a hyperbolic function. Already you are familiar with one function known as a circular function here. The circular functions are not new to you. Already you learned these. You are dealing with these functions. First of all, this sin x and cos x. Sin x and cos x are known as a circular function or trigonometric function because they satisfy this equation of a circle, say x square plus y square equal to 1. If we take y equal to cos x and or I will say y equal to cos theta and x equal to sin theta, then cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1, and that's the equation of a circle. So for a unit circle, uh, suppose take any point on the circle, that point P, its coordinates can be written as a cos theta comma sin theta. Sorry, cos theta uh, comma sin theta. These are the coordinates of any point on that circle. So that cos,
Sir,
yes,
sir, in the second part, e to the power minus ix will be cos x minus I sin x, no, sir?
correct. So I will correct it. Yeah, you are correct there. There is a mistake on both sides. I will correct it. Very good observation. So the first thing I will tell you, these cos theta and sin theta are a circular function. Now where you should focus on these formulas. First of all, the formula for sin x, this is the first important formula for you, and second formula for cosine x. Actually, these two formulas are derived from this Euler's formulae, and whatever just right now, I think who told, I don't know. So this e raised to ix is a cos x plus I sin x, and e raised to minus ix is a cos x minus I sin x. This is a minus sign here. Same thing, e raised to x is a cos hyperbolic x plus sin hyperbolic x, and e raised to minus x is a cos hx minus, again I mistaked, this is my mistake, this is a, I will correct this slide, I will correct it side. So e raised to minus x is cos hx minus sin hx only. So this is not iota there. I hope you are getting here. So let me first focus on the circular definition. These are known as a Euler's formulae. Whatever I am writing, this set is known as a Euler's formula. What is a Euler's formula? The Euler formula says e raised to ix is a cos x plus I sin x. This is the first formula. And e raised to minus ix is a cos x minus I sin x. Now if you add these two equations, we get a formula for cosine. Cos of x is a e raised to ix plus e raised to minus ix upon 2. So that first formula just by adding. If you do a subtraction, like e raised to ix minus e raised to minus ix, you'll get a 2 times iota sin x. So remember the most important thing, this is a place where many of students makes mistake. Denominator of a sin x is a 2 iota, only that one. None of these three have the iota in the denominator. So sin x is e raised to ix minus e raised to minus ix upon 2 iota. That is the formula for sin x. So that about circular function. Come to the hyperbolic now. These hyperbolic functions are similar to the circular function, only they satisfy the one branch of a hyperbola. Say this is the equation x square minus y square equal to 1. So we taken a right branch of a hyperbola. There are two branches, you know. So there is one more branch this side. Okay, so we are not interested in that. So we are interested only in one branch of hyperbola. And now if you take any point P, the coordinates of that point can be written as cos hyperbolic theta, comma sin hyperbolic theta. Cos hyperbolic theta, comma sin hyperbolic theta. So generally they satisfy the equation cos h square theta minus sin h square theta is 1. So value of x is cos, this is theta. Theta is the angle made with the x-axis. So this is theta. So previously for circular also I told the similar thing. If you take any point, this is a theta that you have, and for this theta the coordinates will be cos theta comma sin theta. Cos theta comma sin theta will be the coordinates on the circle, but on hyperbola the coordinates will be cos hyperbolic theta comma sin hyperbolic theta. So that about the coordinates there. So no need of the diagram, nothing you have to remember. Mainly you should remember this first result. E raised to x is a cos hx plus sin hx. E raised to minus x is a cos hx minus sin hx. Exactly same thing happens when you add these two equations. the formula for cos hx will be this one, e raised to x plus e raised to minus x upon 2. Sin hx is e raised to x minus e raised to minus x upon 2. There is no iota in the denominator. There is no iota. So what you will observe in if you compare these two set of a formulae, just remove the iota. Just to remove the iota from circular function, you will get everything about a hyperbolic function. Everywhere you have to remove the iota and convert the trigonometry function, that is circular function, to hyperbolic. Replace circular function by hyperbolic and remove the iota. You will get all the formulas for hyperbolic there. Any doubt? Is there any doubt in definition?
No, sir.
Even though it is very trivial, but these formulas we require in solving the example. Okay. Another thing now, just we have the formulas for sin x, cos x, or sin hx, cos hx. So remember, this h is not a constant. You read like hyperbolic sin x, okay, hyperbolic sin of x, or sin h of x, sin hx. Okay, but h is not a constant there. So this is the entire notation for some function, cos hyperbolic of x, like that. So we have this sin hx and cos hx. So what about the tan hx? About the tan hyperbolic x? Obviously, it is a sin hx upon cos hx. If you take a division here, the formula for tan hx become e raised to x minus e raised to minus x upon e raised to x plus e raised to minus x. Is it clear? Any doubt here? Similarly, we have the other yes other formulas there. If I ask you what is the formula for sec hyperbolic x, can you tell me? Sec hyperbolic x.
2 upon e to the
2
power x
upon.
plus
Yes,
e to the power minus x.
it's a reciprocal of this. Very good. 2 upon e raised to x plus e raised to minus x. That will be the value of sec hx. That way we get all other formulas. So important thing is the sin x cos x you should remember, and sin hx cos hx you should remember, and you can get all others similar way. That one. Now let me come to the graph. The graph of, or before that, yes, the proof of that identity e raised to x is cos hx plus sin hx. So this proof will not come in exam. So just the slide which have the orange color as a background, these are just for your knowledge, will not come in the exam. So this is the proof. Proof is a very trivial. Just we replace the Euler's definition of sin hx and cos hx, and simplified we get e raised to x as a cos hx plus sin hx. Similarly, e raised to minus x is a cos hx minus sin hx. You can prove it. Okay, that one. Come to the graph here. The graph mainly indicates here the most even though graphs will not ask in the exam, but you will learn the most important properties from this graph. First of all, if you observe the graph of a sine hyperbolic x, the graph of sine hyperbolic x is like this. This is the graph. I will highlight it. The graph of sine hyperbolic x is a similar graph like x cube. If you know the graph of x cube, it is similar to that only. Okay, but what is the important thing you will observe in sin hx graph? Sin hx is odd function first of all. Okay, you will observe the graph is in the opposite quadrant. So just like sine of minus x is equal to minus sin x. In the same way, sine hyperbolic of minus x is a minus of sine hyperbolic x. So there are similar properties for sine and sine hyperbolic because they are odd function. Again, what is the minimum value of sine hyperbolic? What is the minimum value of sine hyperbolic function? That is a minus infinity, and the maximum it is plus infinity. So the range, I will say the range of sine hyperbolic is a minus infinity to plus infinity. I hope you got it. So that about sine hyperbolic. Now let I move to the cos hyperbolic here. The graph of cos hyperbolic is like this. This is the graph of cos hx. Now you will observe what is the minimum value of cos hx? That is 1. It's 1. So cos hyperbolic 0 is 1. Cos hyperbolic 0 1 cos hyperbolic 0 is 1. It is similar to cos 0 is 1. Okay, but the minimum value of cos hyperbolic is 1, and it goes from 1 to infinity. So minimum is 0 and maximum is infinity there. So cos hyperbolic never goes below 1. So cos hyperbolic x is never negative at all. Okay, cos hyperbolic x is a never negative function. That is another important thing you should remember. But cos hyperbolic is even function. Its a graph is a symmetric about y-axis. So it is like cos of minus x is a cos x. Cos of minus x is a cos x. So cos is a even function. Similarly, cos hyperbolic is also even function. Okay. And lastly, we have the graph for tan hyperbolic. So this is the graph of a tan hyperbolic x. Minimum value of tan hyperbolic is a -1, maximum is 1. So tan hyperbolic lies between -1 to 1, and it is odd function. Odd function means tan hyperbolic of a minus x is a minus of tan hyperbolic x. Any doubt? Is there any doubt in the graph? You have to remember all these things. Okay. Graph is not required anywhere to remember, but few things you should know that like lower limit of cos hyperbolic is 1. It never goes below 1. Okay. So can we move to the next slide here? If you have doubt, yes, you can ask. Otherwise, I will move to the next slide. Okay. So come to the next slide here. So here we are going to see the relation between circular and hyperbolic function. Now, if we have to convert circular function to hyperbolic function or hyperbolic to the circular, these formulas are useful. Another thing, yes, these are useful also to separate the real and imaginary part. Few questions are coming in the exam. Separate the following equation into real and imaginary part. That time also will require it. So we have here sine of ix is equal to I times sine hyperbolic x. Cos of ix is a cos hyperbolic x. Tan of ix is I times tan hyperbolic x. Can you tell me it is similar to some result? What is that result? There is one.
So that -1 minus.
Correct. Very good. It is just like odd and even function. We already learned like sine of minus x is equal to minus sine x. So whenever that minus is replaced by iota, then that iota also will come out. But one more important thing, sine will convert it to the hyperbolic there. Okay, that sine x will be converted as a sine hyperbolic x. So the most important thing that you should come to know here, whenever you come across like this, what is the tan of ix? What is the tan of ix? First of all, as it is odd function, I will write iota outside, and circular function will convert it to the hyperbolic function. So that's one, tan hyperbolic x. So tan of ix is I times tan hyperbolic x. Similarly, tan hyperbolic of ix. So first of all, tan hyperbolic is also odd function. So I will take iota outside. Now hyperbolic will be replaced by circular. So that's one. So these are the way you will get the relation between circular and hyperbolic. Is there any doubt? You have to remember this set. These are required now. While solving the example, you require these formulas. Can you remember this? So already I given a hint. It's just correlate with the negative sign or correlate with the odd and even function. You will get these results there. Okay. Last thing, not last thing. There are one or two more set of the formulas we have here. But yes, this is one more important part that we have hyperbolic identities. Just like a circular identity, we have a hyperbolic identities. These equations, no need to by heart it. You should just understand it. You can easily get these identities. Okay. Now, in circular, we know that cos square theta plus sine square theta is 1. Cos square plus sine square is 1. Now, if we want to convert this identity in a hyperbolic, first rule, you should remember this Osborne's rule. This is one of the best rule to convert circular identity to the hyperbolic. Every circular function, you have to replace it by corresponding hyperbolic function. So, hyperbolic function corresponding to cosine is cos hyperbolic. So, I'll replace cos h square theta. Sine theta replaced by sine h theta. So, sine h square theta. So what we done first, just we replace circular function by corresponding hyperbolic function. And second point then, whenever there is a product of a two sine function, direct or indirect, then it is a negated. Negated means if it is a plus, convert to the minus. If it is a minus, you convert it as a plus. So this is a minus, and constant terms remain as it is. So we get a hyperbolic identity. This is the hyperbolic identity, and that is always true there. So this one. Yes, we can prove all these by Euler's definition. All these properties we can, all these identities we can prove it by Euler's definition. But the proofs are not coming in exam. So just you should know what is the hyperbolic identity here. Okay. Not only that, let I take some identity. Say cos 2 theta. Cos 2 theta. We know this is cos square theta minus sin square theta. So can you give me the corresponding hyperbolic? Cos hyperbolic 2 theta.
Cos square hyperbolic
Cos x
theta
square
plus
theta
Plus.
plus.
sine square h
Yes, very
theta.
good. So that's one. You got the formulas now. You can easily find these formulas now. One more. I will take one more because this is a little different then.
Oh,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
So whenever there will be a sign, then the
It is
sign.
negated. It is sign changed.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So this is the second point. This second point. Okay. Now I will come to the indirect rule. Okay, because you both of there you have the direct there. So say tan of a plus b. Yes, can you tell me the formula?
Tan A plus tan B
Very good.
upon 1 plus tan A tan B.
1 plus or 1 minus?
Minus.
1 minus tan A tan B.
First mistake you have in only circular. Okay, then your hyperbolic will be definitely wrong then. Huh? Okay, so this about a trigonometric identity for addition formula for tan of a plus b there. Now we want corresponding hyperbolic. So what we'll do it? First we'll replace tan by tan hyperbolic. So tan hyperbolic of a plus b. So here is a tan a replaced by tan hyperbolic a. Tan b is replaced by tan hyperbolic b, and these are single function. There is no multiplication of sign, so I will say as same sign plus as it is. But in the denominator, yes, anyone, is it a minus or plus?
It will be plus because
It
two
very good.
sign product are there, sine A,
Yes,
sine
there
B.
is a product of a sine function, and that is indirect. Indirect means actually it is sine a upon cos a, and it is sine b upon cos b. So sine a into sine b. So there is a multiplication of two sine function. It indicates it should sign will be changed. So it will become 1 plus tan hyperbolic a into tan hyperbolic b. That is the hyperbolic identity. This one is the hyperbolic identity. I hope you got this thing. Actually, there is a simple logic. Why there is simple logic? Suppose we have say sine a into sine b, and suppose we have to convert this in hyperbolic. We already know what is a sine a. Sine a is I times sine hyperbolic a. You know? Can I write it? Sine a as a sine hyperbolic a. I times sine hyperbolic a. समझ में आ रहा है?
सर आई स्क्वायर माइनस 1 हो जाएगा.
हाँ, correct. And this is I times sine hyperbolic b. Okay, so whenever you have to convert this here, so sine a is a I times sine hyperbolic a, sine b is I times sine hyperbolic, so I into I is I square, and that minus sign. Because of that, we are saying that you have to just change a sign, just change of a sign where there is a sign function product is there. I hope you got all these things. Okay. Similarly, you will get all these formulas. All these formulas you will get by this Osborne's rule only. If you have the doubt, yes, you should ask. Right now, the task is to remember the formulas, or you can quickly convert circular to the hyperbolic and use it. Okay, that both ways are okay while solving the example. Okay, so let I move to the next then, if you don't have any doubt here. I will upload this corrected PPT on the TMI LMS. Okay, on Saturday I will upload. So here is proof of one of the property. Suppose we have to prove cos h square x minus sin h square x equal to 1. How we can prove this? Just start with left hand side. Replace Euler's definition for cos hyperbolic and sin hyperbolic, and you will get the answer. You will observe this is Euler's definition of cos hx, sin hx. Square the bracket, same denominator, so just 2 gets cancelled. Not 2 gets cancelled, sorry, middle sign is a minus there. and it gives 1. Okay, so this way you can prove if you want, but proofs will not come in the exam. Proof of the identities will not come in the exam definitely. Okay, so should not worry. Okay, so one more set of formulas that also you can write it by Osborne rule. You can use it by Osborne rule, but actually here instead we can use a simple formulas that we seen at the beginning, that relation between circular and hyperbolic, that is mainly useful here. Let I show you. Suppose we have to start with the formula for sine hyperbolic sine hyperbolic of x plus iy. Suppose I want this formula, sine hyperbolic of x plus iy. First of all, as we want a formula for sine hyperbolic x plus iy, you should recall the formula of sine of x plus sine of a plus b. Sine of a plus b is a sine a cos b plus cos a sine b. So in the same way, that if you replace sine by sine hyperbolic, here also you have to replace every sine by hyperbolic there. And there is no product of sine function, so we will not change the sign. Let I write it. Sine hyperbolic of x plus iy, this is sine a, so sine hyperbolic, because as it is hyperbolic, so that is continued. Sine hyperbolic a is x here, sine a cos b, so into cos hyperbolic iy plus cos a into sine b. So in the same way, I hope you get this thing what I'm saying. This is sine of a plus b formula just we use. Sine of a plus b is a sine a cos b plus cos a sine b, exactly same formula. And why I'm kept the plus sign as it is there, because there is no multiplication of sine function. We are converting circular to the hyperbolic first. Now we know the result. What is the cos hyperbolic iy? What is cos hyperbolic iy?
I cos
No, it is not I
y.
cos y. It is just cos y. Cos hyperbolic iy is a cos y only. I will write that. So this value is just cos y. And what about sine hyperbolic iy? I times sine y. I times sine y. And that only the result, it is written here. You'll observe the simplified result is written directly here. Sin hx cos y plus I times cos hx sin y. Are you getting? So this result, yes, you can derive. You can derive at any stage. No need to by heart anything. No need to by heart anything. Only which thing you have to remember, the first part, that is a sine of ix is I times sine hyperbolic x. Cos of ix is a cos hyperbolic x, and vice versa. Can I move to the next slide then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the last part of a hyperbolic is an inverse hyperbolic function. So whatever the formulas you have to remember, all these formulas are taken here. Now one last slide of a formula that you have to remember. First of all, for inverse
Sir, the
hyperbolic,
last slide which you showed, do we have to remember all the formulae
I
written
already
there?
told you don't have to by heart any of the formula. You can derive whatever the formula you require. Suppose you require the formula for tan hyperbolic x plus iy. You can first write tan of a plus b formula, convert tan of a plus b formula to the tan hyperbolic a plus b, and then replace that a and b by x plus iy. That a plus b is replaced by x plus iy, and you can find the formula. Na? How much time you will require? 1 minute only. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
There are two ways. Either you should by heart that formula, or you can derive the formula. Choice is yours. But I generally prefer to derive, because rarely you require these formulas. So unwantedly you cannot give the burden to your head to remember all these formulas there. Okay. So come here, inverse hyperbolic function. There is no new definition for inverse hyperbolic. Just when y is a sin hx, we say x is a sin h inverse y. Now, if you see the formula for sin h inverse y, there is a formula given in a logarithmic form for all inverse hyperbolic function. So I will show you the proof of one of the formulae. Say sin h inverse x is given by log of x plus root of x square plus 1. log of x plus root of x square plus 1. So this is the proof. The proofs already I told, these proofs are not coming in the exam, but yes, you should know how the formula comes for sin h inverse x. So to derive this formula, here it is started. First, it is assumed the left hand side, sin h inverse x is assumed by y. Okay, so obviously this gives us x equal to sin hy. X is a sin hy. This is the formula for sin hyperbolic y. Sin hyperbolic y is e raised to y minus e raised to y upon 2. So it is just cross multiplied. We get 2x is e raised to y minus e raised to minus y. Now this e raised to minus y is taken as 1 upon e raised to y. So up to here. Again cross multiplied. If you cross multiply this equation throughout e raised to y, so you get 2x e raised to y is equal to e raised to y bracket square minus 1, and this only rearranged here. All these terms rearranged here. So e raised to y bracket square minus 2x e raised to y minus 1 equal to 0. This equation is a quadratic in e raised to y. So by quadratic equation formula, e raised to y is a minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a, and this gives us the final answer for y. And what is that y? Y is a sin h inverse x. We already assumed that y is sin h inverse x. So sin h inverse x is nothing but it is log of x plus root of x square plus 1. At the end, you just remember this formula. Yes, for inverse hyperbolic, you have to by heart this formula now. Yes, I think Sahit is saying it is the same as the integration of 1 upon root of 1 plus x square. Yes, actually, you will very good observation, Sahit. Actually, this is the integration of 1 upon root of x square plus 1, and this formula is actually used. Actually, this oh, sorry, my mistake. That integration of 1 upon root of x square plus 1, you can write it as like log of x plus root of x square plus 1, or directly you can say its integration is sin h inverse x. As you now know that these both these are equivalent. Value of this is same as a sin h inverse x. Because of that, you can write it directly also. Okay. Actually, there is a use of this inverse function, hyperbolic function in calculus of variation, where there is, but I'll not go out of syllabus there right now. Just focus on mathematical parts here. So that about the derivation. Already I told the derivation will not come in exam, but last slide of the formulas now. This set of formulas you have to remember now. All these formulas you have to remember. You have to by heart. There is no alternative. You cannot derive it. Okay, it's better you should remember. Sin h inverse x is a log of x plus root of x square plus 1. Cos h inverse x is a log of x plus root of x square minus 1. Tan h inverse x is a 1 by 2 log of 1 plus x upon 1 minus x. At least first three you have to remember. Last two is not required. First three are important. Sin h inverse x, cos h inverse x, and tan h inverse x. Okay, so that about set of formulas. There is a list of formulas. Just when you learn the trigonometry, in trigonometry you already got a big list of a formula. In the same way it happened here, we have again a big list of formulas for hyperbolic function also, like hyperbolic identities, derivative, integration. Okay, all that things are there, but that's not required here, so I skipped that part. Okay, so the first three formulas you should remember: sin h inverse, cos h inverse, and tan h inverse. So can we start the examples then? At least 2-3 questions we'll do it today, and remaining question in the next session, and then last
Sir,
session.
can you please show the slide which contains cos of ix is equal to cos x,
Okay.
cos hx, sorry.
Just a minute. Okay.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So only the thing is happening: circular function converted to hyperbolic, or hyperbolic converted to circular, and that iota will come out provided it is an odd function. For even function, iotas will not come out. Okay, that's all.
Got my point, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Come to the examples now. So this is the I will read a question. Probably it's not so visible. If u is a log of tan of pi by 4 plus theta by 2, prove that tan hyperbolic u by 2 is equal to tan theta by 2. And second part, theta is minus I times log of tan of pi by 4 plus iu by 2. First thing I will tell you, when I upload this PPT, you will get a solution behind this yellow background. When you delete, or I will upload with solution there, so don't worry. But the important thing I will tell about hyperbolic function, all the examples, means near about 90-95% examples are show that or prove that only. Okay, so in hyperbolic function, always answer is with you. Just you have to manage with identities to get the required answer. So let me see how we can prove this. Few things you should get it when we solve. So first of all, we are given we can say in a solution that u is equal to this one, and we have to come across say tan hyperbolic u by 2. Okay, now from this result, if we want tan hyperbolic u by 2, we have only Euler's definition in our hand with these things. What is a tan hyperbolic u by 2? First, can you tell me what is a tan hyperbolic, or first of all tan hyperbolic x? Is it
e to the power x
Hmm.
minus e to the power minus x divided by e to the power x plus e to the power minus x.
Correct. So we are interested here, tan hyperbolic e by 2 means we are interested to get the value of e raised to u by 2 minus e raised to minus u by 2. That way we can convert that in tan hyperbolic. So log is already there. So if we take log on left hand side, so we can say given, we can start like this, e raised to u. I take an exponential on both sides. E raised to u is tan of pi by 4 plus theta by 2. So this is the given part. Now from e raised to u, we have to move to the e raised to u by 2, because see, tan hyperbolic u by 2 is e raised to u by 2 minus e raised to minus u by 2, that way. So this e raised to u, can we write it as in the form of e raised to u by 2? One way, yes. How to convert this e raised to u into e raised to u by 2? Can I write like this? E raised to u by 2 plus u by 2. But whatever e raised to u by 2 plus u by 2, I will write it in the rough if you want. See this thing I am going to do it. E raised to u can be written as e raised to u by 2 plus u by 2. That can be written as e raised to u by 2 into e raised to u by 2, because base is the same, that can be multiplied. And now this e raised to u by 2 divided by e raised to minus u by 2. I hope you got this thing. So directly I will write it here, e raised to u by 2 upon e raised to minus u by 2 is equal to, now let I convert, because RHS we want only tan theta by 2. So we use a tan of a plus b formula. Tan a, that is tan pi by 4, tan a plus tan b upon 1 minus tan a tan b. So just we use that formula. Now this part we have to convert as e raised to u by 2 minus e raised to minus u by 2 upon this part, this way. Okay, so what we want, actually we require just use a componendo and dividendo. Okay, if we do component, or before that let me simplify RHS. Tan pi by 4 is 1, so it is 1 plus tan theta by 2 divided by 1 minus tan theta by 2, because tan pi by 4 is 1. This is e raised to u by 2 divided by e raised to minus u by 2. Now by componendo and dividendo, okay, so just what you have to do it, we will add this first we want subtraction in the numerator. You will observe we want subtraction numerator. So I'll take e raised to u by 2 minus denominator minus e raised to minus u by 2 divided by numerator plus denominator. So same thing we have to do in RHS this side also. See, numerator minus denominator. If you do the numerator minus denominator, so 1 plus tan theta by 2 minus 1 plus tan theta by 2. Can you tell me what we get here? Is it 2 tan theta by 2?
2 tan theta by 2.
Divided by, now do a subtraction. Numerator minus
2.
2. Okay, so this will happen, and this obviously that 2 will get cancelled. And what is the left hand side now? What is the left hand side?
Tan hyperbolics of u by 2.
Very good. So it is a tan hyperbolic of u by 2. That is the left hand side is equal to tan theta by 2. Tan of theta by 2. And that's the required result. We got the required answer, which is a tan hyperbolic u by 2 is a tan theta by 2.
Sir, please explain the second last step in this, in which you have.
This is a componendo and dividendo. If you know this process, like this is in the theorem of equal ratio. In the theorem of equal ratio, if a upon b is equal to c upon d, a upon b is equal to c upon d, you can write it as a plus b upon a minus b, or a minus b upon a plus b is equal to c minus d upon c plus d. That way. What I done, I assume this numerator and denominator. So I done here numerator minus denominator divided by numerator plus denominator. This is done for left hand side as well as right hand side. Why I done? Because we have to move to the tan hyperbolic definition. And I will. I'm not saying this is a unique way to prove this. You can find it different ways also to prove the results. Think yourself in the different ways to get the required answer, because the answers are with you. Given part is also there. Just you have to use the results you learnt formulas, and that you should get the required answer then. If you've done this first part, tell me so that I will move to the proof of the second then. Are you done? Are you completed? Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Many are saying yes there. Okay. So thus we finished here the first proof. That first result we done. Tan hyperbolic of u by 2 is equal to tan theta by 2. Tan of theta by 2. That we finished. Now we have to come to this result. We will observe we want the answer of a theta. We want the answer of theta in terms of a log. In terms of a log there. Now one thing you should remember, whenever the log we require in the answer, we have only the inverse hyperbolic formulas. If you observe the inverse hyperbolic formula, like sin h inverse x is a log of x plus root of x square plus 1. Cos h inverse x is a log of x plus root of x square minus 1. Tan h inverse x is a 1 by 2 log of I think 1 plus x upon 1 minus x, something like that. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
we have to use inverse hyperbolic there. To use inverse, but here's the tan h. Okay, tan h. So and again if we want theta only, so if we take tan on other side here, it comes tan inverse. We don't want tan inverse, we want tan h inverse there. We want tan h inverse. So how I can convert this tan into tan hyperbolic? Can anyone tell me? I want to convert this tan into tan hyperbolic.
Sir,
Tan
multiplying
hi
by
theta
I.
by 2.
Very good, very good. Multiply by iota is the best thing. Those who give, I think the one who give this answer is the very correct one. So just multiply both sides by iota. So if you multiply by iota, iota times tan hyperbolic u by 2 is iota times tan theta by 2. Now we know tan is odd function. So when we take this iota inside, if we take iota inside, hyperbolic is converted in circular. Okay, and it becomes a tan of iu by 2. I times tan hyperbolic u by 2 is a tan of iu by 2. Same thing will happen on RHS. If we take I this inside, so this tan become a tan hyperbolic now, and this become I theta by 2. I theta by 2. Now we'll take I theta by 2 value. So if we take I theta by 2, I theta by 2 is equal to tan H inverse. Tan H inverse of, yes, anyone? The tan of IU by 2. Is it correct? Or can anyone tell me what is the definition for tan H inverse X?
1 by 2 log of 1 plus x by 1 minus x.
Okay, very good. So, so can I write this as 1 by 2 log of 1 plus na?
Yes, sir.
1 plus IU by 2 divided by 1 minus IU by 2. That's 1. So this 2 gets cancelled on both sides. This 2 and this 2 gets cancelled. And we get theta equal to okay, let me see here what we have then. We get theta equal to this.
Sir, this step please again repeat, sir.
सर
Second
यहाँ पे x
last
के जगह
step.
पे पूरा tan iu by 2 है ना?
Yes, my mistake. Very good. You are correct there. I will replace, because here this is like theta, tan H inverse of x. This is x now. So this is my mistake. I will correct it. This step is not correct. Nice. Let I keep the same ink. So I will say, okay, just so I will say here, this gives us this I theta by 2 as it is. Any doubt in this step first? This step, this is I theta by 2 here, tan H inverse come on that side. This is tan H inverse of x now. So this will come as a 1 by 2 log of, you can put modulus sign also, or you can put bracket, it doesn't matter. Log is obviously the positive domain function. Log of 1 plus x.
How this log is coming, sir?
By definition of tan H inverse x formula. See the formula for tan H inverse x. So 1 plus tan of IU by 2 divided by 1 minus tan of IU by 2. This is the by definition of tan H inverse x. Okay, inverse hyperbolic formula. And now that 2 gets cancelled. And if I want to take this iota on this side, so what we have to do it? Just multiply both sides by iota. So this I square become a minus 1, and here is iota. So I will say the resultant thing will get theta is equal to minus iota. Directly can I write it this? Are you getting this step? Multiplied both sides by iota. So here is iota. This is I square is minus. That minus sign I taken on RHS again. This one. Log of this part. Log of. So can you see what is this quantity?
1 plus I 10 I 1 plus
Yes.
I 10 U by 2.
Correct. So that this part can be written as tan pi by 4 plus IU by 2, because this is a tan pi by 4 plus tan IU by 2 divided by 1 minus tan pi by 4 into tan IU by 2. So next step is the answer only. The next step you will write that theta equal to minus I log of tan of pi by 4 plus iu by 2. So this is the best part, that in hyperbolic, that always the answer is with you. You can easily correlate. You can easily correlate whatever you are getting to the required answer. Okay, and that we want only. If you have the doubt, yes, you can ask. It's not so difficult and not so easy also. It is a tricky mainly. Once you get a trick that how you can go from the given information to the required direction, you can get it. Can I move to the next question if you've done this? On the chat. Okay, I think someone is asking to upload. Okay, Parth is saying to upload this session today only. I will upload it today only. No issue then. But I have to add some more slides on log of complex number. So I will okay. What I will do it. I will post it on WhatsApp today, and later on the corrected PPT will upload at the end on Saturday on the TMI LMS there. Okay. So today only I will post it on WhatsApp group. Okay, can I move to the next question here? Next question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So here is another question. We have to prove, show that tan h inverse of cos theta is equal to cos h inverse of cosec theta. These questions look so difficult, but they are very simple. But definitely you have to use the trigonometric and hyperbolic identities. Let me see how we can prove this such a type of a question. How we can solve this type of a question. So to solve this, just assume one of the side, left hand side or right hand side by some x. So we'll start in a solution. Let tan h inverse of cos theta is x. Okay, so if tan h inverse of cos theta is x, so take tan h inverse on the right hand side. So this gives us cos theta. Cos theta is a tan hyperbolic x. Is that? Now can anyone tell me the thing how we can move to the cos h inverse or cosec theta? From this, how we can move to the cos h inverse or cosec theta?
Multiplying by iota.
Multiplying by iota, what will happen? Cos become a cos hyperbolic theta. Okay, but tan becomes in tan x. Okay, it will not. Okay, that is one of the way. But the best way you can think for the trigonometric or hyperbolic identities. So we have the identities like 1 plus tan square theta or cos square plus sine square. Okay, that way. So for that identities, we require square first. So I'll use identities here. So I'll say cos square theta as tan h square x, tan h square x. Now tan h square x, if I want to convert tan h square x, because we want cosine function there, or you can use cos square theta also as a 1 minus sine square theta. Cos square theta as a 1 minus sine square theta. Okay, no issue. So I'll take it as 1 minus sine square theta. 1 minus sine square theta as tan h square x. So this gives us 1 minus tan h square x is a sine square theta. Just rearrange the term. The tan h square is taken on left hand side, sine is taken on the right hand side. Now, is there any value for 1 minus tan h square x? Anyone?
Sec h square x.
Pardon?
Sec hyperbolic
Yes,
square
very
x.
good. Sec h square x. It is a secant of h square x. It is by hyperbolic identity. Okay, there is actually 1 plus tan square is a sec square, but as tan square is there, this minus sign is there. Because of that, is sec h square. Now we are near to the answer only. I think by replacing iota also you can prove it. You can try it. Now we don't want sec. Instead of sec, we want cos h, and here is a cosec. So take reciprocal on both sides. First of all, you get this is sec hyperbolic x. Sec hyperbolic x is a sine theta. Taking reciprocal on both sides, we say 1 upon sec is a cos. Cos hyperbolic x is equal to cosec theta, and this gives us what is x. X equal to cos h inverse of cosec theta. So we have the two equations here. This is the equation number 1. From equation 1 and equation 2, from equation 1 and equation 2, we have see both values are for x, and that's the required answer. Then you'll observe tan h inverse of cos theta should same as a cos h inverse of cosec theta. Okay, from 1 and 2 we have the required answer. If you have the doubt, yes, you can ask. Okay, I will take a last question then and we'll stop it. It is hardly 5 minutes will require. Can I move to the next question then?
Wait, sir, writing.
Okay, you are writing, no issue then, you can write it. Yes, Swapnil is saying in the next class, please. Right now I am decided to finish this syllabus in 2 more classes. So I will take it one more question right now. Just one last question after this. Okay, one simple question.
Done, sir.
Done? Okay, very good. So last question, I will write it again. The question is given 5 times sine hyperbolic x, 5 times sine hyperbolic x minus cos hyperbolic x is equal to 5. And the question is find the value of tan hyperbolic x. Now in circular or hyperbolic function, suppose we want the value of one of the sin x or cos x or tan x. Once we get one value, we can find out the others. Okay, that way. First of all, here we find out, we will convert this entire equation in either sine hyperbolic or cos hyperbolic. Then only we can get the value of it. So how to convert? We know the formula. Cos h square x minus sin h square x is 1. Is that cos h square minus sin? So we have to square somewhere. So to make a simple square, you can directly square also, no problem. You square both sides, a square plus b square minus 2ab that way. Or the best way to square this one like this, I will take 5 sine hyperbolic x, 5 sine hyperbolic x minus 5, that 5 I will take on this side, it is cos hyperbolic x. So this 5 is a common. We say sine hyperbolic x minus 1 is a cos hyperbolic x. Squaring both side, 25. This is a square sine h square x minus 2ab, so minus 2 sine hyperbolic x plus b square, that is plus 1, is equal to cos h square x. So which one we want? We want quadratic in sine or cosine? Obviously we should convert in a sine only, because left hand side there is a linear term of sine. This term can be converted in a sine. What is this value? What is cos h square x? What is the value of cos h square x? Yes, quick.
1 plus sin h square
1
x.
plus sin h.
Very good. So I'll first write this equation here. 25 sine h square x, 25 minus 50 sine hx plus 25 and that cos h square x, I will write it as 1 plus sine h square x. That's one. Now, now we'll collect equal terms together. So the sine h square x, if you take on this side, it comes 24. 24 sine h square x minus 50 sine hx plus 24 equal to 0. Now this is quadratic in sine hx, so we can use a quadratic formula for getting the value of sine hyperbolic x, or you see the factors. If there are factors, you can go that way also. Okay, or remember scientific calculator also, you can use it to get these roots. Just go in the equation mode, put the coefficient of ax square plus bx plus c. A is a 24, b is minus 50, c is 24, and you get the roots of sine hyperbolic x as, I will write it, sine hyperbolic x equal to, you can use any way, either that way or use minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. I will write both the roots here. It will come 4 by 3 or 3 by 4. 4 by 3 or 3 by 4. I am written directly. You use your method, either calculator or factorization or that quadratic formula. Okay, once you get this as a 4 by 3 or 3 by 4, we have this formula. How to get a cos hyperbolic x then? Already we use here 1 plus sine h square x. It is a square root of 1 plus sine h square x is that. Can you calculate this? Someone is on the chat there. Let I check. Minus 18, minus 32. Yes, with the Dipansh. Minus 18, minus 32. What are that? That are factors. Roots of quadratic. No, minus 18, minus 32 means sin hx minus 18 is equal to 0. Is that? Not correct, Dipansh. How you calculated? Roots are not correct. The roots are written here 4 by 3 and 3 by 4. That should be. Yes, cos hx is a 5 by 4 and 5 by 3. 5 by 3 is the answer, correct? 5 by 3. So cos hx is a 5 by 3. You will get actually two answers, 5 by 3 and
5 by 4, sir.
5 by 3 and 5 by 4. Both the answers you will get it. When you take 4 by 3, you get 5 by 3. And I think when you get 3 by 4, you get a 5 by 4. Is that? Now, but only those values we have to take it which satisfy this equation. Probably this equation is satisfied by only 5 by 3. You can check it. Sin hx is 4 by 3 and cos hx is a 5 by 3. So you will check these two values not satisfy the first equation. See, when you take first pair 4 by 3 and 5 by 3, I will write it here in the rough. Okay, actually this you don't have to do in the, yes. Therefore 5 sin hx I am taking 4 by 3 minus cos hx I am taking 5 by 3. So it is 20 minus 5. It is 15 by 3, that is 5. So first pair is satisfied. This pair satisfies this equation 1. Let me come to the second pair, 3 by 4. So 5 into 3 by 4 minus 5 by 4. Now if you observe, it is 15 minus 5. 15 minus 5 is a 10. It is coming 10 by 4, and that is 2. So that is not satisfy equation 1. So just we have to say, as a second pair doesn't satisfy that equation, so that is not the required values of hyperbolic. Thus the final answer, you would write it as a tan hyperbolic x. We want the answer is a tan. So it is sin hx upon cos hx. That is 4 by 3 divided by 5 by 3. So the final answer is a 4 by 5. 4 by 5 is the required. So it is just like our triangle there. But yeah, that is a right angle triangle where we have sine and cosine function. We can form similar triangle here also, but no required. Okay, so that about the solution. If you have doubt, yes, you can ask.